Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. TYREEK Hill has just shaken the entire NFL landscape, and the buzz around Chicago is absolutely unreal. Fans, journalists, analysts, everyone is talking about it. The Chicago Bears have pulled off what is being described as the biggest signing in the franchise's long and storied history. We're not talking about a simple free agency splash or some mid-level trade. This is TYREEK Hill, the cheetah himself, one of the most explosive and feared offensive weapons in football today. His arrival sends a shockwave across the league, as Chicago, a team that has often been associated with hard-nosed defense and gritty battles in cold weather, suddenly has a superstar on offense who can score from anywhere on the field. The Bears, a franchise hungry for relevance and desperate to prove that their young quarterback can develop into a franchise cornerstone, are now putting every card on the table. This move screams ambition, it screams boldness, and it screams a complete shift in how the Bears want to be perceived by the rest of the league. No more just being known for monsters of the Midway or frozen soldier field battles. This is about fireworks, speed, and fear factor. TYREEK Hill embodies all of that and more, and Chicago fans are daring to dream about a future that finally feels different. The magnitude of this signing cannot be overstated, because Hill is not just a receiver, he is a game-changer in the truest sense of the word. Every defensive coordinator that has faced him knows the kind of nightmare he represents, and now those headaches belong to NFC North rivals. Think about that for a moment. Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit, teams that have been building their defensive identities for years, now have to scheme against a player who can flip a game with a single touch. The ripple effect is massive. Justin Fields, or whoever lines up under center, suddenly has the kind of target that quarterbacks dream about. Hill stretches the field vertically, horizontally, diagonally. He changes the geometry of football. Safeties have to play deeper, linebackers hesitate for a fraction of a second, cornerbacks lose confidence, and before you know it, the Bears' offense looks like something we've never seen before in Chicago. And remember, this is a fan base that has been starved of elite offensive production for decades. They've had legendary running backs and solid receivers, but nothing, and I mean nothing, on the level of what Hill represents. It feels like Christmas morning in Chicago, only bigger. What makes this rumor even more fascinating is the timing of it all. The Bears are in a transitional phase, with new leadership at the top and a clear desire to reset the franchise's identity. For years, critics have said the Bears lacked vision, that they were stuck in the past, that they couldn't adapt to the modern NFL where offense reigns supreme. But now, this move suggests that the organization is ready to step into a new era. Bringing in TYREEK Hill is not just about adding a receiver. It's about making a statement. It's telling the entire football world, we are done being the team that everyone overlooks. We are here, and we are serious. Imagine the boost this gives to ticket sales, merchandise, national television appearances. The Bears instantly become must-watch television, something that has not consistently been the case outside of Chicago's loyal fan base. The marketing side is massive, but the on-field impact is even bigger. Hill is a tone setter, a culture changer, the kind of player whose energy and personality transform locker rooms. He brings swagger, he brings confidence, and he brings a fear factor that Chicago has been missing on offense for decades. The rumor mill has been on fire, with insiders whispering that this deal took months to orchestrate behind the scenes. Chicago knew they had to swing big, and Hill's camp reportedly wanted a fresh start, a chance to cement his legacy somewhere new. If that's true, then the Bears front office deserves a standing ovation for making the impossible happen. Think about the logistics, financial gymnastics, roster adjustments, and a willingness to embrace risk on a scale the Bears have historically avoided. Chicago has always been seen as a conservative franchise, careful with money, reluctant to chase shiny stars, but here they are making the kind of splash usually reserved for teams in Miami, Los Angeles, or Dallas. This is unprecedented for Chicago. And fans who have lived through heartbreak, who have watched Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre dominate the division for decades, finally feel like their time has come. The energy is palpable, almost electric, and the city is buzzing with what this could mean for the team's future. This isn't just about football. It's about pride, identity, and rewriting history. Of course, not everyone is convinced that this is a guaranteed success. There are skeptics who argue that Hill's skill set thrives best in warmer climates, on faster turf, and in systems designed to maximize speed. Soldier Field in December is not exactly known for speed-friendly conditions, and defensive coordinators will surely try to force Chicago into grinded-out football. But that's where the intrigue lies. If the Bears can adapt their scheme, if they can utilize Hill in creative ways, then the possibilities are endless. Motion, screens, jet sweeps, deep bombs. Chicago suddenly has a playbook that looks like something from Madden, and opposing defenses will struggle to keep up. The critics can raise their eyebrows all they want, but the truth is defenses cannot defend speed, and Hill has speed that breaks the laws of physics. If anything, the challenge for Chicago will be ensuring that the quarterback play rises to the level of their new superstar. That's the big question mark, the one thing that could hold this whole dream scenario back. But for now, the city is choosing to believe. As rumors swirl about how the locker room is reacting, one thing is clear: players are excited. Social media has been flooded with cryptic tweets, likes, and emojis from Bears players hinting at their enthusiasm. This is a locker room that suddenly feels injected with adrenaline. Imagine being a defensive player in Chicago, someone who has carried the identity of this team on their shoulders for years, and now watching the offense finally step up to the plate. It's almost like a burden has been lifted, a balancing of the scales. The defense can still be fierce, still be Chicago's calling card, but now they know that their offense is not going to waste their effort. TYREEK Hill changes everything, from play calling to confidence levels to the overall vibe of the organization. The rumor may still be buzzing, details may still be unfolding, but one truth cannot be denied. This feels like the dawn of a new era in Chicago Bears football. The ripple effects of TYREEK Hill's arrival are already being felt across the league, and insiders are whispering that rival executives are both stunned and quietly envious. Chicago has never been known for pulling off a coup of this magnitude, which makes the move feel even more surreal. The Bears, who for decades were considered a proud but somewhat old-fashioned organization, just flipped the script entirely. This is not about sticking to tradition anymore. This is about keeping up with a modern NFL arms race. Hill is not just another name on the roster. He's a player that forces ESPN panels, radio shows, and podcasts to talk about Chicago in a way they haven't in years. Suddenly, the Bears are no longer an afterthought. Suddenly, they're in headlines next to teams like the Chiefs, Eagles, and 49ers. Fans across the city are chanting, celebrating, and already envisioning Soldier Field rocking with Hill, taking a slant to the house. The vibe is unmistakable. Even rivals are acknowledging that Chicago is now a very different beast. Some say this might be the first domino, the first sign of an aggressive new Bears era built on ambition and fueled by star power. But the most fascinating angle of all might be the pressure this creates for Justin Fields. There's no hiding now, no excuses, no narratives about lacking weapons. With Hill in the building, the expectation is clear. Chicago must take the leap from potential to results. Fields has shown flashes of brilliance, using his legs to dazzle and his arm to stretch the field, but inconsistency has plagued him. The Bears are sending a message: we believe in you, but we also expect you to rise with this roster upgrade. For fans, this is both exhilarating and nerve-wracking. On one hand, the quarterback finally has the kind of superstar support system that can unlock his potential. On the other, the spotlight will now burn brighter than ever. Every throw, every drive, every win or loss will be magnified. Chicago has invested heavily in changing their offensive identity, and the success of this gamble will largely fall on Fields' shoulders. It's a sink-or-swim scenario, and the NFL world is waiting to see if the Bears have just set the stage for a breakout or a disaster. Either way, the drama will be must-watch every Sunday. Defensively, the signing of Hill also brings hidden benefits that few people initially considered. Think about practice. Chicago's defensive backs, safeties, and linebackers will now face the fastest player in the league on a daily basis. Iron sharpening iron, as the saying goes. Facing Hill in practice will only elevate the secondary, forcing them to adapt to speed, angles, and unpredictability at a level most teams don't even get to simulate. That could create a ripple effect that makes the Bears' defense sharper, more disciplined, and better prepared for the league's fastest weapons. And then there's the psychological lift. Defenders who have often shouldered the responsibility of carrying the team now know they have reinforcements on the other side. No longer will they grind out 3/4 of elite defense only to see the offense stall. That shift changes team chemistry, energy, and unity. Insiders are already suggesting that morale in the locker room has skyrocketed. Hill isn't just a signing. He's a spark plug, a motivator, and a living symbol of ambition. Chicago hasn't had a superstar like this in decades, and it changes everything, even for the defense. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Another layer of intrigue comes from the NFC North rivalry. For years, the Packers, Lions, and Vikings have taken turns dominating Chicago, often mocking the Bears for their lack of offensive firepower. But now, those same rivals are suddenly on notice. Can you imagine Lambeau Field when Hill breaks free for a 70-yard touchdown against Green Bay? Or Ford Field in Detroit when he silences the crowd with a game-changing play? Division games just got more explosive, and rival fans are already dreading the matchup. Hill's arrival means these contests won't just be about ground-and-pound football anymore. They will be about fireworks, about one play completely flipping the game. For the Bears, this is about pride as much as it is about progress. Tired of being bullied in the division, they've sent a clear warning shot. We're here, and we're ready to compete. The NFC North landscape may never be the same again, because Hill's presence alters not only Chicago's outlook, but the strategies of every opponent they face. The Bears have officially become the team nobody can take lightly anymore. There's also the cultural impact of this signing, something that cannot be ignored. Chicago is a city built on grit, resilience, and loyalty, but in the sports world, it has always craved stars who shine on the biggest stage. Michael Jordan gave the Bulls that aura. The Cubs had their fairy tale. The Blackhawks had their dynasty. And now, the Bears, finally, have a superstar capable of electrifying an entire city. TYREEK Hill brings more than touchdowns. He brings marketability, personality, and swagger. Kids will be wearing number 10 jerseys on playgrounds. Social media will light up with his highlights, and Soldier Field could feel like a different place entirely. The Cheetah is built for spotlight moments, and Chicago is built for heroes. The marriage feels almost poetic, as if the city that has been waiting for offensive magic has finally found its spark. This is about more than football. It's about Chicago reclaiming its place in the national sports conversation. And the ripple will be felt far beyond the Midwest, because the NFL thrives when its biggest markets shine. This move ensures the Bears are no longer lurking in the shadows. They're right in the middle of the spotlight. Still, the biggest question remains: will this bold gamble truly pay off? Football is a brutal sport, full of unpredictability, and nothing is guaranteed. Injuries happen, chemistry doesn't always click, and sometimes even the most exciting acquisitions don't live up to the hype. But here's the truth. The Bears had no choice but to swing for the fences. After decades of offensive mediocrity, of being the punchline in quarterback debates, of watching rivals stack highlight reels, Chicago finally said enough. They went all in, and they did it in spectacular fashion. TYREEK Hill represents speed, explosiveness, and hope. For fans, hope is everything, and right now, Chicago has more hope than it's had in decades. Whether this ends in playoff glory or painful lessons, one thing is undeniable. The Bears have changed the narrative. They've turned whispers into roars, doubt into excitement, and tradition into transformation. whatever comes next, the NFL world will be watching closely. Because with Tyreek Hill in Chicago, the story has only just begun, and it promises to be one of the wildest rides this league has seen in a long, long time. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.